Despicable Me is the best film franchise ever made. Is probably not a statement that surprises you to hear. You probably thought that it was some ironic statement because it's obviously not the best film franchise ever made. That's comedy. But these sentiments have been heard a lot over the last few years. Ironic admiration for a film franchise that a few years ago was nothing short of utterly loathed. And this is an irony cult. Basically, an irony cult tends to happen when a franchise is really popular, so it hits the masses, and then people proceed to hate it because it's popular.
I'm trying to avoid any sort of contact.
A few moments later.
And then the people who grew up with the product reverse back to enjoy the popularity, still in a new, ironic fashion. I mean, just look at how high quality some of these memes are. Look at Arthur Morgan and Gru. This is so high quality. What about this one on screen? This is a bit far, I feel, but hey, it's certainly an irony cult meme, right? It's just brain rot, but still, it's funny, I think.
Nah, I do quite like it, to be honest with you.
However, it's never really ironic. Deep down, they just really like the franchise. Which is okay, by the way. You can like ironically bad franchises. It's okay. There are tons of irony cults out there. Family Guy is probably the most obvious ever example. It's really big these days. I mean, remember when Peter Griffin came to Fortnite and everyone genuinely tweaked and flipped out? That wasn't even ironic at that point. Everyone just really liked it.
Look at that. Headshot.
SpongeBob, Shrek, Garfield, these were all at one point hated franchises online, but are now beloved. Garfield is a bit of an odd one though, because he's significantly older than the others, but the movies came out around the 2000s, around the peak of Shrek and SpongeBob, so I think that's probably why he's always sort of included. And Despicable Me now stands among them, and I think that transformation was really interesting, particularly for this franchise. I was born in 2002, and I watched the first Despicable Me probably at the perfect age, and I watched the sequel and Minions both in cinemas, of which both of course were perfect films. When the third film came out, I was genuinely excited for it. I was ahead of the trend. I would quote the trailers to my friends and I thought it looked so funny. That was this kind of ironic sense of course, but I'd be lying to say I wasn't genuinely attached to the characters at the time, even if I knew it was shit. I mean, twin brother Drew, amazing concept. Randy from South Park,
Yes, please.
but I distinctly remember people hating this one a lot. The franchise was so overexposed at the time, and it was clear Illumination was just getting these out as fast as possible to make more and more money, which, I mean, fair play I guess, it was very profitable, and is very profitable. But when Minions The Rise of Gru came out, everything changed. I saw people buzzing for this one. But why? There was even the gentle Minion trend, where guys would dress up in suits just to see the Minions 2 movie. Absolutely amazing trend, by the way.
This gets the Terra seal of approval.
When it made money, people cheered and celebrated, while when Despicable Me 3 came out, I remember people begrudgingly admit that the film made money, and why did audiences see it? But the reception change was all due to time. You see, between the third film and the Minions sequel, 5 years had passed, and keep in mind, they released 4 films in 7 years, so this was quite a while. People had grown up, and I was about 8 or 9 when I saw Despicable Me, and when Minions 2 came out, I was 20. COVID had happened, and this film was one of the first big animated films to hit cinemas again after the pandemic. Dare I say, the Minions symbolised to people a sense of familiarity within a difficult and changing world? Yes, I am saying that. You know, many psychological theories posit that people seek comfort from elements in their past to remind them of where they came from and for happier times, such as the self-determination theory, which posits the importance of autonomy, competence, and relatedness for overall well-being. Childhood classics often make people feel in control and competent over their mastery of familiar worlds, and their feelings of nostalgia make them feel connected to others who share such memories. That last point about the connectedness may be applied broadly to ironic cult memes, where the shared experience of these properties makes people more inclined to enjoy and share them, increasing their reach. But going back to Minions 2 a second, animated films at that point were changing, to say the least. Look, I don't want to do the whole woke argument on you all, but Disney and Pixar films at the time seemed more concerned with political narratives and making just absolute trash films. But a funny minion romp seemed exactly what was needed at the time, both for families and general audiences. By the way, Luca is shit. I'm sorry, it's shit, and I'm more than happy to explain why in another time, but Luca is really shit. I'm sorry, it's bad.
Hey! Leave them alone! Hop on.
Go start the club! Or loser!
I mean, just look at the Mario movie the following year. A lot of people liked it for its simplicity, but you know what, this is a video about the funny yellow things, so back on topic. It was just fortunate timing for the second Minions film overall. And look, I am old enough to remember around Shrek the 4th, everyone hated the franchise for overexposure and tired films, but then after a break, and around I want to say 2014-15, the franchise enters meme status. So around 13-14 years after the first film. Despicable Me, 2010, Minions 2, 2022, 12 years, similar time span. There does seem to be a noticeable trend with this stuff, where the meme becomes the adornment of everyone, and I want to say that I was the first official Despicable Me superfan. I always liked Drew, goddammit. I was the OG fan. This is a real life figure I own, and I fucking treasure it. And I think the best part is Illumination is clearly playing into it now. Like, it's no doubt that Gru is the main meme machine here. You know, while the Minions definitely have an irony cult of their own, it's the boss man who gets the love from the fanbase. His towering height, sleek scarf, funny accent, and superhuman abilities make him an obvious candidate for hilarious memes. And the rise of Gru prominently features him, but also in the new film there is literally a tiny version of him. This is genius marketing. It's exactly the kind of marketing move I'd expect from this company, who is no doubt aware about how people view their franchise now.
I tried.
But I suppose the question is this: has meme culture made Despicable Me more popular? I'd say so. Even after so many years, the franchise has remained relevant, well past its original age group had grown up. Something that many other series can't say. And will I be watching Despicable Me 4 in cinemas? You bet your ass I will be.
Hey, Illumination, sponsor me, please, come on.
Hey, I know you got the fucking money for it, Illumination, come on. I do wonder sometimes though if Steve Carell ever stays up at night, just thinking that many people know him best for playing Gru from Despicable Me. I really hope he does. That's quite funny. That's funny,
That's funny,
you know?
Arthur. That kind of humor we do on this show.
But I suppose it's kind of nice overall that a series once hated has now been embraced like the others. I love a happy ending, and I really love consistent themes in the collective cognition of the internet. We're all like a little hive mind now. How awesome! Nothing bad could ever come from that.
Luca! Bueno?
So go watch Despicable Me and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you support Gru and the Minions. Every subscriber matters, and I love each and every one of you equally. I would kiss all of your bald heads if I could, but only the ones who subscribe.
I just did a boom.
Also comment any about irony culture you can think of. I will read each and every comment, so be insightful or else I will roast you. Goodbye, good night, and have a nice day.
What are you gonna do?
Told you. We're gonna hang out. Gonna watch.
That funny Minion song.
Take some pictures. And I'll pay you.